giving us the hope to rebuild and reclaim the world we lost.
I was expecting shit.
Yeah?
When I went to watch this film. Because I'd seen the first prequel, because this is now
This is a big problem.
Sequel to the prequel.
Okay, so the first one, the reboot, was from three years ago, 2011, and it was Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And this one that we just watched was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Wouldn't that be better the other way around? That's what I thought. Because I was calling this one Rise when I went to watch it. I'm going to go watch Rise now because this is when they rise up against man. What was the movie about then?
You know, have you seen the other Planet of the Apes?
I think I've seen them all except one. There was two. The original one, right, was in like the 60s.
Yeah.
And then there was another one, I think, while...
There were a few, like, immediately after. I think the first one was, like, late 60s, and then they just made a sequel every year because
which we would call made for TV.
Yeah, you can't release that crap. Like. It was just people in a costume and, you know, just taking over the world.
It's like they said,
some monkey.
We've got the costumes now, we might as well...
Yeah, we paid for the costumes, we need to get as much value as possible. But actually, I wasn't a big fan of the first one until the last act. Okay, I know you have a lot of big problems with the animation and all that, and we'll get onto that later. But the last act of this, do you remember the bridge scene?
Yes. In
the last movie, Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
They were running over the cars.
This was the first time watching a Planet of the Apes movie, and
I had flashbacks of while watching X-Men.
That actually works, yeah. But yeah, it showed how monkeys could actually overpower men, and in the older movies you never really got that. It's just like, okay, I'm hairy, I know I can take over this planet, because it's just a thing, because it's all these, they can go in 3 dimensions in the world or whatever, they could climb all over the bridge, men can't, they're stronger, etc. like that, and this is what this thing did. And this is also why I liked this movie here, The Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, because it continued straight from that third act. You could see exactly how these monkeys, or these apes, were more powerful than humans and could eventually inherit the Earth. Did you watch the first one recently?
Wait, which one?
When I'm talking about the first one, I'm talking about Rise of the Planet of the Rise of the Dawn of the Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Yes. Yeah. No, I haven't. There is no. That's the thing. There's no reason to rewatch it because it's so unrewatchable. This one, I actually would.
I would watch this again. Alright. These aren't cute monkeys. These are like Caesar cute?
No. Oh, the look of Caesar, I think, was awesome. The amount of emotion
at the end.
Yes.
That one, the last shot.
This is very nice.
Which was straight into his eyes.
We're not all the little details and stuff.
Yeah.
Very realistic.
See everything like that.
But even when they were sitting around, like when he's having arguments with Koba, and you can see him thinking, it's just done so well. And the thing that doesn't look good with the monkeys, a negative thing, monkeys on horses with guns jumping through fire. I couldn't watch it without laughing, and there was other people in the theatre. I heard them laughing as well. To see the monkey with AK-47s jumping through the fire.
That's what you want to see, though. A little bit. You want to see the monkey on horse. Okay, so he's very strong, and he can have 2 big machine guns in his hand. So he's going boom, 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 boom. He can't aim because he's a monkey, you know. Yeah. He's a bit of an idiot. He's just shooting.
It looked awesome at the beginning when they were walking through the window.
This was my favourite part of the whole movie. It's this thing where, you know, Koba says to Caesar at the start, okay, you know, we're not going to attack them, but we have to show some force. And you know when all the monkeys come into San Francisco and they put on this show of force on front of the thing. In my mind, this was terrifying.
Which is very cool.
Yeah. I don't know. There's just something in it that's absolutely terrifying to people. You know?
And then
lots of the people in there didn't even think that apes had any. They were just they thought that these guys in the forest were just normal apes, and they're there on horses with weapons in rows. You know, you could really get the human's point of view. Like that would be absolutely terrifying.
And then they spoke.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest plot holes I've ever seen in a big movie. This thing about them not looking immediately for Caesar.
Yes, Caesar gets shot.
Yeah.
In the shoulder.
Everyone could see it. Like no one would think.
Everyone can see. He's standing. He's surrounded by monkeys.
Yeah.
But somehow he falls outside the village.
Yeah.
So.
And he's only found the next day by people who had been travelling the entire day from the point where he was shot. And these people weren't looking for him. Like they weren't the people looking for him. No one looked for him.
No.
He was shot, and it's like, oh, he was shot. Let's go this way.
At the end where Home and Away star, what's the name?
Surfer Steve.
Surfer Steve goes and confronts Commissioner Gordon when he's going to blow up the building. Commissioner Gordon has rigged this building to blow up, and he's got the button in his hand. And Surfer Steve's got the gun, and he's threatening him. He says, "Don't push that button. I will shoot you." And Commissioner Gordon's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I agree with him. What the fuck? Why are you pointing the gun at me? And then Surfer Steve's like, "Oh, you got to give him time." And he says, "Who?
Yeah.
Who do I have to give time?" He goes, he's up there fighting for us. Because even though Surfer Steve and Commissioner Gordon are best friends, and they've been living together in this community before he goes off to see Caesar and all this stuff happens, they've been there for a few days together. And not once did this guy talk to him about talking monkeys that live in a village with a monkey king called Caesar, who he went to see in the village.
We've been through hell together. We spent 4 years. 4 years! Fighting that virus and then another 4 fighting each other. It was chaos.
But when Gordon blows himself up, that is a fucking surprise. I didn't expect that. And the building doesn't fall anyway.
No, it was terrible.
But there's a huge explosion, 6 pounds of C4 or something. Luckily, Steve, who's obviously spent many a day running on the beaches of Sydney, is able to outrun the explosion in a confined space.
That's nothing. He was able to, the previous night, he outran monkeys in their own habitat, finding cover, him and his friends, in a place they've never been. That's a good training. If you're a lifeguard on that or Home and Away, it's a good thing for being, 1, able to outrun monkeys, and 2, an explosion just the next day.
He also somehow got out of the rubble by himself.
Oh yeah.
Unscathed.
It's fine.
Fine, yeah.
You know, San Francisco, it's built for earthquakes and all that sort of stuff.
Earthquakes and unexpected explosions.
This is the end, beautiful friend.
Yeah. So, here's a question. You know, at the end when the last shot is just going straight into Caesar's face and everyone is offering their hands and everything like this?
I thought you were going to talk about the shot before that where Steve disappears into the darkness. He's walking back into the rubble. He's just walked out of the rubble, and then just for cinematic effect, Steve is going back into the darkness, and then when Caesar turns around,
he's Batman.
Steve is Batman. See, so and I just thought, what the fuck? Did he walk back into the
he
rubble?
just backed up, yeah.
He should have walked out after this.
The stairs were still okay. The stairs were still okay.
Sorry, we gotta
You
go
don't
this way.
understand this, West. You see, everything in San Francisco is prepared for earthquakes and stuff like this. Like C4 is built, breaking up.
But yeah, there was that, and then the very nice.
Okay. But what was this? Like, what? Why were they doing this to Caesar?
bowing down to him.
Yeah.
I think
What had changed?
I think he had gone beyond the normal leader now.
Okay.
Because it's almost like a Jesus thing where he had died and been resurrected to come back to life and beaten Koba and proved that he survived death.
He had just he had carried out the first ever primate execution.
He did
public execution.
His first murder as well. Yeah.
First state murder of any monkey ever. Previously, in movies like this, they would have Caesar rescue him a little bit, and then the bad guy would suddenly turn around, ha ha ha, and then try and push him down to give the guy a reason to kill him.
Yeah, it's normally like he runs towards the edge and the good guy flips him over and Koba goes flying down.
So you have to save him a little bit, but yes, no, Caesar had to actually do this.
I thought
willfully kill him.
He should have pulled Koba up and then say, "Long live the king."
That's actually what I was thinking of the entire time watching this. Just thinking of the Lion King, and it made me want to cry a little bit.
Yes,
but that's what the Lion King does to you.
I would like to see a movie all about the monkeys. I think they're more interesting than the humans.
I'm not too interested in the human cause at this stage. Like, I know we need a reference point, but I think the next movie we don't really need them. I'm not a big fan of 3D. I think it's not a great addition to cinema or anything like that, but it, especially in the wilderness in the woods, it did add a lot of depth to the screen.
I hated the 3D until it got to the battle scene between the apes and the humans, and then I liked 3D. Then it really worked. I don't know what the difference was, but at the beginning I thought everything looked flat, like parallaxed.
Whenever I'm watching a 3D movie, I'm always, every 10 minutes I'm like taking my glasses on and off again to see what the hell this is actually adding to the experience, apart from €2.30.
Although that's unfair because when you take them off, it's blurry.
It's not that much. I have terrible eyesight, so it's exactly the same. Yeah, but if you're like it really does open up the cinema screen. It's like they're doing it back there, and there's so much more depth to it, and you can see all these monkeys swinging around to it. Like, for sure, it did not need to be 3D. It could have just been HD, and it would have been exactly the same movie.
At the end, I like the 3D, but it always takes me a while to get into it because it doesn't look actually 3D. It looks like a bunch of layers of 2D to me. And when you have a 3D film, you feel as if you have the choice of what to look at because it's 3D. You go, well, I'm going to look at the background now, but you can't because it's out of focus. The focus is on maybe the main character in the foreground. When it's a 2D image, your brain doesn't feel that need. You don't think I can look into the background of the image now because it's flat image. You're looking at whatever is in focus.
But you all know what we're up against.
I need to speak to Caesar!
Okay, so Rise of the Dawn of the Beginning
of the Man with the Iron Fist.
Of the Man of the Apes.
Yeah, of the Apes. Yeah.
With the Iron Fist. Overall rating, would you recommend this film? Would you tell other people to go watch it?
If other people were listening, definitely. I would recommend it. It's a solid 4 stars out of 5.
Yeah, I might even give it higher. I might give it 4.5 out of 5. Just knowing how challenging this film is to make good.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been so stupid. It could have been really bad. With all the effects, I mean, your main characters are... I would say the monkeys were the main characters, not the humans. And it's all CG, it's all animated. with some extra motion capture by Andy Serkis.
Even like this is saying a lot for like the massive plot holes that this movie has, and the very obvious like lapses in scene progression. You know,
I'm sure that like I said, that plot hole. There's a scene missing there.
yeah.
There's a reason why Caesar is teleported after he gets shot by a magic bullet.
But someone would have to help him, and that person doesn't exist. So that would mean that a character is completely gone.
Yeah, or at least could have shown him just one shot of him washing down the river or something, and then you say, okay, well he must have fallen into the somehow. Even then, teleported from the middle of the village to a river or waterfall, and survived the fall. But anyway, yeah, there is that big plot hole. Things unexplained, things not said. But I kind of expect that in movies.
Okay.
I forgive it a little bit.
Are you a fan of the series now known as the Battle for the Beneath, the Planet of the Rise of the Dawn, the Planet of the Bog and the Valley of the Planet of the Apes?
I might be. Based on this film, I will see the next one. It's got the same director. I'm sure it'll be in the same vein.
Yeah.
So I will see the next one, unless the trailers are really bad. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Nah, come on. No, I was really, really impressed by the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and that's not this one, is it? Rise of Dawn. I think they should swap the titles eventually.
I really do, yeah.
Yeah, at some point, swap the titles, guys. Right, this one is Rise. The previous one was Dawn, because what comes first? The Rise or the Dawn?
Who are you talking to?